when it comes down to a Republican establishment saying, well, we like the Tea Party, but we want you to vote for our candidate, that's the fight. And I think that, like Steve said, that's what Sarah Palin represents. Are we going to have that elite picked candidate, or are we as regular American citizens going to stand up and say our country is worth saving and we're willing to fight for it? Not we're willing to vote for you to fight for it, but we're willing to stand up and actually fight for it ourselves. And that's the power of Sarah Palin. And I hope that one day people will say that's the power of me. And then I hope a whole bunch of people after that will say that's the power of me as well, personally for themselves. And that we actually go back and start to take over our city councils and our school boards and actually get very, very active in our local politics so our presidential candidates don't hold as much power as they currently do.
The Tea Party had a monumental victory in November 2010 without any help from the Republican Party. Okay? Now we have to have a fight for the soul of the conservative movement and for the direction of the Republican Party. And I think that that is very important to have. And if Governor Palin is not in that fight as an active candidate, her spirit is going to be in that fight, as you've seen here at Right Online. That's why the title is called The Undefeated. It's not simply about Governor Palin. It's about the values she manifests, of the can-do spirit, this old frontier values of self-reliance and self-determination, right? Of understanding that freedom comes with very high, requirements to it, right? And that failure is an option. I think that we have to get back to those values, and I think that if we, as conservatives, force the issue in the summer and the fall of 2011, that we will really have a cleansing process.
You go to the Republicans and you're like, I have this idea, and they're like, you're an idealist, or that'll never work, or that can't be, and you're like, oh, really? And then when you go to a Tea Party and you can say, I believe in freedom, or I want to be able to make the decisions for myself, or I think that self-responsibility is the most important thing, and you have all these people that's like, yeah, and they start cheering, and you get that feeling that I'm not alone. I'm not by myself, and that if I continue to speak up, then I won't be the only voice, because more people are going to realize they're not alone. And that's the strength of the Tea Party.
No one intervened on behalf of